emperors and empresses, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, princesses and princesses. Last but never least, we got the beaches. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. And the beaches. And I will never forget about the beaches and beaches. Why? 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 Because it's levels to the bullshit ceiling. Anything you would like to know about me will be in the description box or about section, anything else. Okay, I got some spiritual tea for y'all. Now, just because I don't be coming up in here telling y'all my dreams like I used to because I just been busy, don't mean that the shit ain't happening. And the Most High has put something in my face about gratitude and just simply my gifts. How you doing, TZ? About gratitude and your gifts and what you're here for and heal the nation or help heal the nation. You ain't the only one doing it, right? So I had a dream last night and really the night before. I'm always having dreams, but I'm just going to recap on the dream. I had a series of dreams last night. It wasn't just one dream, but this one particular dream, I guess that I had a machete in my hand, chopping off someone's head. Okay. I felt like I was like an assassin of the Most High of some sort. I had a baby that I was protecting, and the baby was in pink. I had a couple of dreams with a baby that I was protecting, and the baby always be in pink. But anyway, this particular dream, it was a machete I had in my hand, you know, those long knives. And I was literally adding the person. I don't recognize the person that I'm adding or taking his head off. It was a guy. I was taking his head off. It was a machete. Literally the night before that, I had a dream of my children's father, baby mama, and I had to whoop her ass in the dream state too. So lately, for these 2 days straight, I've been whooping ass in the dream state. Now, yesterday, when I had, or last night, when I had a series of dreams, it was basically, I did some cards, right? And I shuffled the cards. I said, what is this about? So Random Smatham scripture came out. Okay. Now, when I pulled the cards, it basically had like the Queen of Swords came up, meaning that she was going to be given justice to the situation at hand. Whatever the situation is about, in my dream, it was me cutting somebody's head off. How you doing, Olivia? So I'm just going to read the scripture and then we can get into the message, whatever. We're going to get into the message. So this came from Second Chronicles 24. And it says, Joash repairs the temple. So the temple, we all know that the temple is the temple of you or the temple of the Most High. I came to the conclusion that this is somebody's home. So the Most High showed me like the temple is someone's home or it's this goddess's home. Okay, so it says here, Joash was 7 years old when he became king. And so as somebody who has a lot of responsibility, it definitely was giving me Capricorn energy. Okay. Confirmation. Joash was 7 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 40 years. His mother was Zibiah from Beersheba. Joash did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight. Throughout the lifetime of my bad, I looked up this word earlier and I thought I got it down packed, but Johanna, that's what it is. I thought I had it down packed, but let me just make sure.
Presents how to pronounce
Jehoiada, my bad. Jehoiada, my bad. So it says here, Joash was pleasing in the Lord's sight throughout the lifetime of Jehoiada, the priest. Jehoiada chose 2 wives for Joash, and he had sons and daughters. At one point, Joash decided to repair and restore the temple of the Lord's. Okay? He summoned the priests and Levites and gave them these instructions. Go to all the town of Judah and collect the required annual offerings. Now, I also, the Two of Pentacles came up too, okay? And the Two of Pentacles showed me that, don't lose it, Anna. Basically, there has been something recorded as if somebody owes someone something, okay? Because checks and balances or bookkeeping or something like that, keeping count of the books, recording, okay? So keep that in mind while I'm reading this, okay? He summoned the priests of Levites and gave them these instructions. Go to all the town of Judah and collect the required amount offerings so that we can repair the temple of the goddess. Do not delay. Okay, these are instructions. But the Levites did not act immediately. So we got somebody who is like lackadaisical and don't want to act on the instruction that what's your name? Joash has given them. Okay, so the king called for Joanna. I keep fucking up this name. Jehoiada, my bad. Jehoiada, the high priest, and asked him, why haven't you demanded the Levites go out and collect temple taxes from the town of Judah and from Jerusalem? Moses, the servant of the Lord, levied, and levied is just another word of saying levy, charge, impose, raise, collect, tax. So levied means go collect, basically. So go back. Dang, I done lost my damn spot. Okay, levy. There we go. Levy this tax on the community. I'm going to go back a little bit just so y'all. It says here, Levites go out and collect the temple taxes from the towns of Judah, from Jerusalem. Moses, the servant of the Lord, levied, went to collect the taxes on the community of Israel in order to maintain the tabernacle of the covenant. Okay. What does tabernacle mean?
Here's the definition of tabernacle in biblical use: a fixed or movable habitation, typically of light construction.
A meeting place or worship used by someone, Protestant or Latter-day Saint. So this is a place that they gather, okay? Tabernacle, basically, meaning to worship, okay? So it says, over the years, the followers of the wicked Athaliah had broken into the temple of God, and they had used all the dedicated things from the temple of the Lord to worship the image of Baal. So they basically breaking rules at this given time. Like everything that was in the temple of God, they took it out and they used it for their own worshiping of Baal. And Baal is supposed to be like an evil person, like an op of the Most High, basically. But I'm going to look it up to give you a definition so you can have something to go off of. Owner of Lord. Okay, it's Hebrew. It means owner of Lord. Although it could be used more generally, I apologize, For example, a bow of wings was wing creator, and in the whatever. Baal is basically, Baal really put me in the mind of a Sagittarius, if you want to be real, if I want to be real about the whole thing. So Baal is basically the most high op. They worship in the image instead of, digging deep within inside of themselves and not stealing from the temple in the first damn place. But anyway, so now the king orders a chest. A chest is just a big old thing. You know how they say a treasure chest. So that's what they're talking about. So now the king ordered a chest to be made and set outside the gate leading to the temple of the Lordess. Then a proclamation. Remember, proclamation is basically an invitation or a decree, like just sending out, to the people, basically, telling them it's a decree. So, an order. Then a proclamation was sent throughout Judah and Jerusalem, telling the people to bring to the Lordess the tax that Moses, the servant of the goddess, had required of the Israelites in the wilderness. Okay? It's just like you going to church and paying your tithes, okay? But that's just different from what the Most High told us to do, but okay. But it's just an example. This pleased all the leaders and the people, and they gladly brought their money and filled the chest, the treasure chest, with it, okay? Whenever the chest became full, the Levites will carry it to the king's officials. Then the court secretary and the officers of the high priest will come and empty the chest and take it back to the temple again. Once it's empty, they just take it back to get filled back up again. This went on days after days, and a large amount of money was collected. The king of Jehoiada gave the money to the construction supervisor, okay, who hired masons and carpenters to restore the temple of the Lordess. Okay, it's just like, a building that's a building or your house. Because I kept seeing like somebody's house, a goddess or a god house that needs to been fixed. Okay, that's why they're collecting the money so they can fix up God's house or the temple of the Most High. Okay, I bit my tongue. So we think they doing anyway. Okay. This went on days after days. A large amount of money was collected. The king of Jehoiada gave the money to the construction supervisor who hired masons and carpenters to restore the temple of the Lordess. They also hired metal workers who had articles of iron and brass for the Lordess temple. Okay, articles is just another word for saying like articles. Where you at? Because I did look you up earlier. Okay, articles meaning.
Here's the definition of article: a particular item or object.
So basically, like units. Okay, instruments, utensils, tools. That really stuck out to me. Tools. So it says here, the man in charge. Okay, articles basically means like what I just told you. The man in charge of renovation worked hard and made steady progress. They restored the temple of the goddess according to its original design and strengthened it. Okay. When all the repairs were finished, they brought the remaining money to the king and Jehoiada. It was used to make various articles, tools for the temple of the Lordess. Articles, tools for worship and service. So what do you use in worship and service, right? You got your little things, anointing, and your little I was thinking of little things that shake and make all that noise, and your little drum sets and all of that. So they need all this for the temple. So basically they use that to make things for the temple. Like it says articles for worshiping service, and for burnt offerings, including latlies. Latlies are basically, let me just give you the definition of that. And also, if I can let you see it, latlies.
Ladle.
Oh, my bad. Ladles. Big spoons. You know how they use for like soup. So those are called ladles, okay? Big spoons, dippers, okay? That's what they call them. So ladles, okay? It says here, including ladles. So they needed those spoons for, what they needed for burnt offerings. So, they might dig it in to get some soup. I don't know. It says it right here. But anyway, and other articles, other tools made of gold and silver, and the burnt offerings were sacrificed continuously in the temple of the Lordess during the lifetime of Jehoiada the priest. Jehoiada lived to, oh, my bad. So I'm just going to counteract that with 2 Kings 12 and 16. I'm not going to have y'all here long, even though we ain't been here long anyway. And ain't nothing wrong with a little reading. Niggas ain't reading, no, they so it says 2 Kings 12. So I'm going to go to that. It's all coming together, trust me, because the dream was about me assassinating someone. And basically, in this scripture, it's going to say something about somebody getting croaked and killed off because they went against the Most High. So just be patient. I'm getting there. I'm just showing you what the Most High has shown me. So basically, it says 2 Kings and 12, 1 through 16. 2 Kings 12, 1 through 16. Joash began to rule over Judah in 70 years of king. Jehu reigned in Israel. He reigned in Jerusalem 40 years. His mother was Zebiah from Bathsheba. All his life, Joash did what was pleasing to the Lord's sight because of Damn, I always get this word, this name. Jehudia. I ain't gonna fuck up on her name. Let me get her name right. I know I said it 1,000 times, but I can forget all 1,000. Trust me. Jehoiada. That's the name. Jehoiada. My apologies. Because Jehoiada, the priest, instructed him. Yet even he did not destroy the pagan shrines, and the people still offered sacrifices and burnt incense there. One day, that's why it's important to burn your incense, okay? I keep telling y'all, because those are things of the Most High, and that's what I be saying too. But I won't go there right now. But burn your incense, burn your sage, get your essential oils. All these things are of the Most High. If you pay attention, I know when I was came into my awakening in 2017, I didn't know too much about essential oils or nothing of that nature. I came upon this by looking online, and I just ordered it. I don't even know what led me to even order it. I just ordered it, and I ordered a case, and that's when I, basically seen about essential oils. So burn your incense, get your spiritual things to better your spiritual life. Okay. One day, King Joash said to the priests, collect all the money brought as a sacrifice, as a sacred offering to the Lord's temple, whether it is regular assignments, a payment of vows, or a volunteer gift. God said, no, not God. Joash just said, take, get all that. I don't care if it's basically a gift. I don't care if they bring in something, get it. Let the priest take some of the money to pay for whatever repairs are needed at the temple. Okay. This was for taking repair. Oh shit, is the thing messing up? Oh no, it's not messing up. It was for repairing of the temple. But by the 23rd year of Joash reigns, the priest still had not repaired the temple. You see how they playing with God? Similar how they play with you in the real world. Okay, God told specific people to do something, or God sent people to tell people to do stuff, and they still don't do it. They lackadaisical, lollygag around until something big happened to where they like, oh, I should have just followed suit, or I should have just did what God told me to do, or I should have just did what the representative of the Most High told me to do. Okay, so it says here, so the priests agreed not to accept any more money from the people, because they taking all the money, but they're not using the money for what it is supposed to be used for, which was repairing the temple. Okay. And that could even be anything. It could be literally, I don't know, the Most High just brought something to my face, right? Say if you, as a person, say if you have children, say if you're a foster care mother, and you get money for them to, I don't know, you just use the money to, it's supposed to be healing for them in that type of situation. They shouldn't be miserable repeating old generational curses because you don't want to be responsible and help them heal. Now, what happens to them in the ages and their youthful ages while they're with you is on you. But when they get older, that's up to them. So going back, okay, don't let me lose you. Okay, take responsibility for repairing the temple. Then Jehoiada, the priest, bored a hole in the lid of a large chest. So basically, they covered the hole of the chest so nobody could put money inside of it no more, because they're not doing what Joash told them to do, and that was repairing the temple. Okay. So it says here, set it on the right side of the altar at the entrance of the temple of the Lordess. The priests guarding the entrance put all of the people's contributions in the chest. Whenever the chest became full, the court secretary and the high priestess counted the money that had been brought to the Lord's temple and put it into a bag, or in two bags. Then they gave the money to the construction supervisors, who used it to pay the people working on the Lord's temple, the carpenter and the builder, the masons and the stone cutters. They also used the money to buy the timber, which was the wood. Okay. And they finished stoned needed for repairing the Lord's temple. And then they paid any other expenses relating to the temple restoration. The money brought to the temple was not used for making silver bowls, snuffers. That's basically, lamp snuffers are basically, you put out like a candle with it if it's lit, so you don't burn yourself. 222. Lamp snuffers. Lamp snuffers. This is basically a lamp snuffer. You see how that's putting out the candle? You see what a lamp snuffer? I'm all about demonstration, because I grew up not really knowing what things look like. People would tell me something and I still be dumbfounded because I need to see a picture. Okay, and that's what a lot of people are doing today. They'll tell people like, go open the stove, but you never showed them what the fuck a stove was or how to open it. So, or they'll tell children, not people, but children. So that's a lamp snuffer. Basically putting out, so they said basically don't make no more of them. Okay. The money brought to the temple was not used for making silver bowls, lamp snuffers, bassings. Bassings is basically pots. Okay. Pots. Bassings is pots, pans and shit like that. But like I just said, I tell you that you don't know what it is. You don't go look it up. You ain't gonna never know. So it's time to take some accountability, and you can take it through me because I'm even showing you. But you got to take your own accountability though. But I'm gonna show you since I'm here. I don't see why not. And it really don't even have. It says bowls, dishes, pans, pots. A wide road opening container. And this is kind of like what they're showing, but they're calling this a bassing, and this is what they're showing. But that just don't resonate with me. The pots and pans resonate more than me than what that does. I just don't. But anyway, trumpets and other items, utensils of gold and silver for the temple of the Lordess. It was paid to the working man who used it for the temple's repair. No accounting, no record of this money was required from the construction supervisors because they were honest and trustworthy men. Okay, they got the job done. So it was no need for Joash to, check after these people because they always did the right thing. Like he trusted them. Basically. However, the money that was contributed for guilt offerings and sin offerings was not brought into the Lord's temple. You see, God don't like when you just don't do it from the heart. Because remember that it said over here that what did it say over here? People was bringing the offerings, for, just gifts, assignments, payments of the vow, trying to keep, the goddess, keep the laws and keep the vows, basically, of what they said they were going to do, to help the community of women and children, whatever the case may be. But some people brought offerings due to guilt. Sin offerings, was not brought into the Lord's temple. It was given to the priests for their own use. Okay, so I don't want to draw you out too much with this. I really just wanted to get to the part where it was basically, long story short, somebody broke some rules and had to die. Basically. Long story short. Now let me just get some cards upon this thing. Okay? Because like I said, it might seem like I'm going all over the place. But it made sense in the dream and when I was putting it together. Shit. So I had a machete literally knocking they fucking heads off. And the first thing I seen was this right here. The Knight of Swords. So almighty ancestors, spirit guides, loving ones, what would you want us to know about these dreams that you're giving us with, what I title this? I apologize if I seem a little unorganized. This is my first day back doing this too, so grant me a little bit of whatever. Okay, basically, you're fighting the opps in the dreams. And you're killing them and protecting children of some sort. So what is that? What does this dream mean, dear Almighty? What does this dream mean? Thank you. And if the first half wasn't conveyed right, I bet you the second half will be those supplies. Those supplies are just sitting. When are you going to use them? Now listen here. Now I'm about to say another thing about another thing. Loving me and putting me first. Now also, with that being said, rejection had came up too. Literally these past few days, it's been some attacks that y'all wouldn't even understand that's been going on unless I tell you, which I'm about to tell you. Rejection came up. I just want to say this before I even, it's kind of all got to do with all of this, but rejection can literally make you make some effed up decisions. Okay? Good day, Gaia girl. Rejection can literally put you in a state where you don't know your self-worth and don't know the ability you have to heal yourself and other people. So I find myself realizing certain things about certain people in my life that I really put upon a pedestal and did not even was not even pedestal fancy, or they wasn't even requiring pedestal behavior. You know, when you put people up on a pedestal, they special to you. You think they can do no wrong, and those type of people was doing all type of wrong behind my back. 1969. So rejection had came up, but the day before that, before rejection, my daughter, and we know that this is Virgo season, right? So this all got to do with that dream. So my daughter, the 7-year-old, y'all seen her on her land day. Y'all had seen her when I had put up a video of her dancing and shit like that. We was dancing together. I said, it's my daughter land day. This my daughter birthday or whatever. That same daughter had, I guess she fainted and she hit her head. She hit her head and she was temporarily paralyzed for like, I'm going to say 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most, okay? So when I pulled up at the hospital, and I'm going to start like reporting and giving these testimonies as I can, when I can, okay? This is about 3 or 4 days ago. I pulled up to the hospital and I seen when I came in there that both of her legs were swollen, but one was swollen more than the other one. The right one was swollen more than the other one. Now, this all relates to the dream and everything that I'm saying, y'all, because we're in Virgo season, and the Virgo new moon is today. So it's like all playing a part. In my Virgo 6th house, I have Chiron there, which I speak. And a lot of times I don't speak because I always felt like, you know, people tried to make a fool out of me when I was younger, 920, and I didn't know what I was talking about. And I didn't know how to read and stuff of that nature, but those are just obstacles in life that I had to overcome. I'm not saying it like, I'm proud of myself that I did finally overcome those obstacles. But anyway, back to the story. Both of her legs was paralyzed. She is swollen. She's a Virgo as well. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was just so magical because my daughter is a life path too. I had already did the research of this. My daughter is a life path too. She was literally in bed too. The seat that I sat in, it was a heart engraved in the seat. As she came back from the x-ray room, because they was x-raying her to see what was wrong with her, because her neck was all messed up and she was having neck pain of some sort and her spine was hurting her and stuff of that nature. So as I came back from the x-ray room, I noticed there was a lion there, and we just came out of Leo season. So all this plays a part because I am a moon in Leo. And my daughter is a moon in Leo, even though she's a Virgo. And I just found all this out by looking up my children's birth chart, because I want to know who they are, you know, a little bit deeper. I want to know who they are. So when I found out, okay, basically both of us being Leo moons, and then I see a Leo portrait to my right. So I'm like, I'm like, okay, this is all a part of, you know, God's plan. Basically, this is a divine plan. So So she get back to her room after the x-rays. And she took a nap and she just started snoring like a bear, like, and I'm like, oh, she getting that good sleep. I already knew that was a healing rest when I heard it. Out of nowhere, she just wake up like that and just turn her head and stuff. And I'm like, girl, it look like you doing good. You doing good. She's doing good. Okay. She really couldn't go into how she feel or why she feel. I assumed that she fainted, and when she fainted, she hit her head. Long story short, she was okay. Even when she left the next day, she seemed it a little high, but you know, Virgo right across the street from Pisces. So I'm just thinking like, okay, maybe she's just in both of those worlds or whatever. Okay. So, after that, the next day, just basically, I just got some good news that same day that she had hit her head, but I didn't see the good news until after she hit her head. And she was doing pretty good the next day. Now you said all that to say stuff. Rejection had came up. Like, sometimes you being rejected don't mean that it's a no. It just means like that's not the thing you're supposed to have at that given time. Or maybe the rejection or whatever's rejecting you just ain't good for you. Okay? Because I hope I'm not talking in circles, because I do feel like I'm talking in circles a little bit. Say if you have a mother that rejects you, or a father that rejects you, or siblings that reject you, and you really long for their love, and you feel like you're pretty special in your own right, in your own self, but you keep trying to get their love. Point of the matter is, you ain't gonna get their love, because they don't. It's something about you that irritates their demons. It doesn't matter how much they reject you. Since my Chiron is in my 6th house, I know for me, rejection was a thing for me. People, even relationships that I got in, or relationships that I entertained, was due to the household in which I got brought up in. I was trying to get my mama's love. I was trying to get my daddy's love. Okay? So if I'm trying to get their love, that means that the next lover, or a lover that I get into it with, or a lover that I get involved with, I'm trying to get their love, but it's due to love from that I try to get from my parents. Okay? So don't mind rejection. Keep moving forward. It says here, those supplies are just sitting. When are you going to use them? And the rejection card is here. And somebody refused to use their gifts because of it. The Almighty let me know last night in those dreams, which plenty of dreams that's my 3rd dream that I done had, that I done whooped somebody ass in the spiritual world. But this particular person last night that I whooped their ass in the spiritual world, I didn't recognize this person. So it's kind of like almost like they've been hiding and didn't want me to see them, but I don't give a fuck. I still smell op upon them. It also says here, don't take nothing personal. People tend to take things personal all the time when it has to deal with their spirituality or their spiritual gifts. Even when I was younger, I was criticized a lot about things that I wasn't doing right. They said, well, if you ain't doing it right, you can't get mad. You can't get mad. Like, say if I'm doing somebody's hair and they felt like it wasn't right, or they felt like it was ugly or something like that. Like, that don't look right. And I'd be mad like, damn, I can't never do nothing right to you. But they helped me to perfect, if that makes any sense. They helped me to perfect my gift, because I would feel like, damn, I ain't doing nothing right. But it also gave a window for me to perfect myself. And it wasn't because they wanted to see what was best for me. They were criticizing me because it was something that they didn't like about me. Because people can tell you all the time, get yourself together. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. You know, they say that all the time when you a child. Like, they're doing it. They like, no, fuck all that. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. They will tell you that all the time as a child. And it wasn't for your best interest, even though it worked out for the betterment. It wasn't for your best interest that they even said what they said. They just wanted to irritate you, or they wanted to antagonize you. But it still worked out for your greater good, because anything that you go through is for the betterment, for you to be better and reach your highest self. It's all for the Most High. The end of the day. It says loving me and putting myself first, focusing on you and self-love. You can't focus on people who ain't never loved you or showed you love in the first place. Long story short. Okay? And I'm going to get these cards, because I'm not going to be here long. It literally was for, I wanted to come on here yesterday, y'all, but I was too busy with the full moon and everything and trying to hash some things out with rejection, to be honest with you. Don't feel like, damn, what the fuck? Is that a dart in my eye? Karma. What would I do to you, bitch? Okay, I just see the, that's my right eye too. It's like somebody like threw some energy in it. Okay. What was that? I ain't gonna get mad. So, it popped. That's the only reason. So, Virgo energy. And I just said something about it in communication. So literally somebody, you can communicate in any kind of way. And I told y'all that my Chiron is in the 6th house of communication, Gemini be where I need to heal at, but communication or speaking, and always feel like, damn, you sound stupid. So literally there is like an energy, and it could be a Virgo. I would not put it past it. Yeah, psycho, sending their energy. You see, communication, air sign, you send it off with, you know, like that's just air communication. So I feel like somebody literally said something negative and literally tried to take my eye out just now. But whatever. What was that? Anyway, thank you, Almighty Spirit. So I ain't gonna never stop doing what I'm doing. And that's period blank period. And y'all shouldn't stop what y'all doing either. Because it's meant for me to talk even if I sound stupid. I'm gonna sound good to somebody. So it says right here, choices. And everybody not meant to understand you. Okay? That, like I said, last night, me getting that machete and chopping that motherfucker's head off. I ain't never chopped nobody's head off like that. But I do feel like, I don't know, in a way, I felt like I was overcoming something real deep. Yeah, standing my fucking ground. And even with these 2 of Wands, sometimes you're going to have to fight. Sometimes you're going to have to convey what you have to convey and not always run away from a problem. It's a lot of people who take on responsibility of children. Specifically, I'm here for the children, specifically, and childlike adults, I guess. But I'm going to stand my ground, Leo energy, because I know that I'm here for the Most High. And it's nothing that a person could tell me, because I know that I seek righteousness within the Most High. So when I was defending the child, because I was defending a child and I was kind of defending myself, and it wasn't easy chopping that motherfucker head off with that machete either. Challenging. Okay, like I said, it was challenging. It wasn't easy just chopping their head off. I had to really go with that head several times before I chopped that motherfucker's head off. It wasn't like the night before when I had beat up my children's father, baby mama, and I just flew and socked it, judo boxed that bitch out. She had lumps and shit all on her motherfucking face. Last night when I was fighting whatever demon I was fighting, it was a challenge, but I did get it done. So it's a lot of things that's going to be challenging, but you're going to get it done. This is what this life is about. Growing up, me personally, nobody told me about obstacles. Nobody told me it was going to be easy. Nobody told me just about nothing. Everything that I'm experiencing is in life is because I experienced it on my own. Nobody gave me a handbook. I just came into astrology and tarot in 2018. I bought my first deck, but 2019 I kind of like was getting into it. Okay, so it says here, like, people basically have to make a choice with those supplies just sitting. You have a birth chart. You have stuff that is in your birth chart that will tell you about you and will tell you about how to heal. If you choose not to heal, then that's on you, and you will perish and you will die due to depression and everything else. I'm a Capricorn, and I didn't experience a lot of shit. And I can see a lot of things, even when people think that I don't see at all. People try to take advantage of people like me, or people who, who are sweet and kind, and try to use it for their negative. And it never works, because it literally backfires all the time. Given this, it backfired on them. Leo energy, Mars. It backfired on them. You cannot compete with a person. You cannot compete with a representative of the Most High. It will never work out for you. Ever. And I don't give a fuck if it's mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, grandma, grandpa, or children. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to get the fuck on. But I had even, I'm going to keep going. Okay. And here we go. Don't take nothing personal, because it's fulfillment. I'm going to say that when I get to this card. The last thing I was about to say, I ain't going to forget. Don't take nothing personal. Okay. Don't take nothing personal. Basically, because you're going to have a fulfillment. And I was thinking of my children at the time, and then I see that 10 of Cups. That's letting me know right there. You're going to have a fulfillment with, or families, or whatever it is. Because, first people hate you. They do. And then they begin to admire you, and they begin to love you off of your ability to keep going. And they're kind of admired that you didn't allow them to bully you. You stood your ground. No matter what, you are fulfilled. You didn't take nothing personal. It's no need for you to take it personal. Because like I said, even though they did all those things when I was heavy criticism, even on a child, that's why I'm as responsible as I am now. And I can convey so many things. Even though I learned how to read late, I still can convey a lot of things. I was slick at the mouth. But God is showing me knowledge is power. Basically, education is power. Knowing is power. Reading is power. Knowledge is power. Hold on one moment. Girl, just call me. Okay. I apologize to y'all because I'm doing something. Yeah, she could just call me. That's a later. She can call me. And look at this. Rejection. And this is the night. I wouldn't be surprised, because sometimes your opps can play with your dreams. And not only your dreams in real life, but dreams in the dream state. And this is Sagittarius energy, Mars. Mars literally showed up here. All competition, sex, people trying to come up against you, anger, rage. That's what that dream was about. Fighting. I stood my ground. Clearly, Mars energy. Okay, bitch, you want to come at me with that foolishness? I got something for you too. You see this bitch? Sagittarius bitch, always coming up with some foolishness. I got something for your motherfucking ass too. Because they're reckless. People who can't take rejection, they start to want to do like revengeful things towards you. They start wanting to come in on your happiness. Because look, this bitch trying to come in on the happiness. And I don't give a fuck who it is. You see her or him coming towards this 10 of Cups. It's not yours. And you know that Sagittarius went in on the day of Pisces, or in the season of Pisces. Sagittarius literally, they mama and daddy did the Oochie Coochie in Pisces season. So when they see that you got something that they want, they try to take it, and it won't succeed. They won't succeed. Because you're standing your fucking ground, and you can look, foresight. They looking out. People, listen here. Your ops are constantly looking at what you have. I don't give a fuck who that is. Mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, grandma, grandpa, and your children. They're constantly looking at what you have, especially if you're the one doing the Most High's work and will. They want to see and they want to get in on it. They ain't got shit to give you though, but they want what you have. Look, I ain't lying. They see potential of abundance. They looking out. This little bitch right here, B-Chat, is looking out what you have. Fulfillment. It took me a while to get to where I am today. I am 35 years old, 36 spiritually, and I'm always shout out my age because I feel good about it. And not only that, not many people get to be my age. And it's not all about my age. It's about my youthfulness, because I could be 35 years old talking about my back hurt. My coochie is dislocated. My coochie is dislocated. My breast, one is bigger than the other. I make the best out of what I have. If I see something needs to be fixed in my temple, kind of like what the scripture said, I repair it. I don't wait for it to get broke down. If I notice, if I'm having a plethora of bumps, I'm like, that's not normal. I need to get that done. Or it could be my hormones. If I notice that my shoulder ain't right, hold on, this pain been here for too long, I correct it. I do yoga. I wear bands and bands on my stomach if I know I need that. I ain't never wore a band on my stomach for my children to repair my gut. I always had gut issues. I didn't blame my mother and father no longer for not caring for me as a child, the color yellow, and I took confidence in myself, not waiting on nobody to tell me, hey, you need to get it together. And sometimes half of the people don't listen to that anyway. I knew that I was dealing with some jaw issues. And my jaw felt like it was a little arthritis-y. You know what I went to do? I went to the store. What the fuck was that? Did y'all hear that? I didn't wait on mama and daddy to go get that for me. I went to go get that for myself because I know I need healing. My health wasn't a big deal when I was younger with my parents, but guess what? It means everything to me because that is my values. And I went to go get some licorice root. And licorice root is good for everything. I be chewing that shit every day. And it's so beneficial. It's up to you to want to take charge for your life, the end of the day. And people look at you and give you the evil eye and give you so much negative speech and try to throw darts at you. That day is coming to an end, motherfuckers. I'm just letting y'all know that. So loving me and putting me first is here. And it says here, disconnection. You might be disconnected with somebody that your day ones, right? The people that you was day one with. But all your day ones is toxic as fuck and nobody's changing from day one. None of your day ones is changing. And you thought that was love. That is not love. That is not love. You know what that is? That's trauma bound. That's trauma bonding. You can't never heal with conversation. You can't never heal like, let's talk about that. It's a lot of people, because y'all know that I go through spiritual battles all the time. And I told y'all that I had got some good news. So getting this good news, I needed, because I'm thinking about mother and father at this point. You know, the first people you know is your mother and father and siblings if you live in that type of household, and you know the system that you were brought up under. It was either a lazy ass mother, lazy ass father, or a father that just go to and from work, and a mother who just sit in front of the television watching stories, making you sit in front of the television watching stories and confirmation. And it's like, if the mother is actually the source for you to learn. If the daddy going out to work, the daddy shouldn't have to worry about coming home and cooking and teaching the children. If he's working and putting a house over your head, a roof over your head, and, you know, giving you the necessary things that you need, he shouldn't have to worry about coming home and teaching the children. But it's a lot of people who had mothers in the household who literally taught them nothing and expected them to know. And sometimes them mothers be jealous as fuck of you. Jealous as fuck that you got to live a youthful life. Jealous as fuck about a lot of things. But it's okay. The past is the past, sure enough. But we are where we are because of the decisions that we made. And if you don't do any reflecting, especially during this time, it's the new moon. It's all about reflection. It's all about stepping back. It's all about seeing what you need to do to make your situation better. So if you have those type of people, your day ones, and oh, we're not day oneies no more. They never really liked you. That's why you need to love yourself. You need to dig in your confidence, your yellow chakra. You need to see who you are. You loving yourself. Seeing about the rejection. And I'm just going to tell one more story about me and then I'm going to get the fuck on. Okay. Rejection was so big. I hated rejection when I was younger. I didn't even know where it came from. Only thing when it came prevalent to me, or when I started like seeing when it was a big part of my life, is when I was in elementary school. And only thing I know is if I never really said if I liked a boy, and if I accidentally said to a girl that I liked a boy and she told them, I didn't want them to tell them, because it's like, oh no, I don't want them to reject me. I don't want them to reject me. But where I got that from was from my household. 555. I'm gonna get one for that. Where I got that from was my household. Fearlessness. There we go. Uranus energy. It's all about change. Okay. Electricity. Being electric. Electricity. Lively. Okay. I never. And it was due to the fact because I was getting rejected in the household. So I would be sad a lot and depressed a lot as a child, because I was trying to figure out things that I didn't know. And now that I'm like 35, 36 years old, I'm finally seeing and the experiences that I had, because if you don't experience, you just not gonna know. A lot of people can just be talking, and they just don't know. They stuck on a belief that they just don't know. Like, let's just say the belief, I'm gonna say one of the beliefs as a child, we couldn't speak, we couldn't talk. My dad would do all the talking, but my dad didn't have no more than a 5th grade level of reading. So it's like I was limited to knowledge. If we want to be real, I was limited to knowledge. And my mom, she just watched the stories all day. So only thing I knew was the stories. All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital. I still remember all that. She didn't watch Days of Our Lives, but she watched all 3 of them back to motherfucking back. And I knew that. So watching that, now this all got to do with the rejection now. So watching that, because if mommy is not, or daddy is not educating their child or showing them, some substance, they're going to do what they want to do. Or they're going to do what, they think to do. And it could be some real ruthless shit that they do. So I used to watch those stories. Only thing I seen was one man sleeping with one woman, sleep with another woman, or one woman sleeping with one man, sleep with another man. And I thought that was supposed to be life. I seen one bitch die. Three episodes later, the bitch come back to life. I'm thinking like, damn, like, okay, we gonna come back to life after we die, we come back to life. So I just want to say this, y'all. No matter what your trauma is, it's still some of your truth. If you comprehend what I'm saying, that's all I had, all God showed me, because that's all my mother was giving me. So rejection was a big thing for me, because I never wanted to get rejection. So I would avoid doing certain things because of rejection. So, I thought that's the way life was supposed to go. Fast forward, I have my own children. Now, I know I was just talking about that rejection thing. It's all prevalent. So just, it's all important. Just stay with me. So fast forward, I have my children. 2017, I go through my thing, right? 2018, I get another place from a low income place, because I already had one, but I get another one. My oldest daughter is 10, right? So my oldest daughter, even though she's 10, she is very like outspoken. You understand what she's saying. So she knew that I was coming on this uh uh she knew that I was coming on this path of spirituality. She's seen it. And I told her basically like, yeah, daughter, this is because I call her daughter. I say, yeah, daughter, this is the path that I'm going to be going on. You know, y'all can come with me. Basically, y'all going to come on this path with me. She basically told me, mama, like, I see this new way. This is what she said at 10 years old. I see this new way that you doing everything. And she wasn't even close to 11. This girl was 10 years old. Oh, well, 11 spiritually. But anyway, I see this new way that you're doing everything, mama, but that's not the way that I want to go. I basically want to dip into the bad side. Fast forward, my daughter is 16. These past 5 years, she's been with my parents. I let her make the decision, but not only that, they did some shicey shit anyway. They went down to the courthouse to get them from me. Because otherwise, I would have been like, fuck what you talking about, daughter. You're coming with me. But I didn't do that. And I couldn't do that because they went to the courthouse to get them, right? So I still let her make her decision because she chose to be with my parents before she chose to be with me. And then her children, and then my children up under her, because I had 3 girls at the time, and they wanted to be with their big sister, Ayana, we want to be, they was crying and everything. I want to be with Ayana. So basically, they went with her too. But it didn't matter because they did some shicey shit and took the children from me from the courthouse and went down there and did whatever they did or whatever they said to get them. So fast forward, my daughter is 16 now. Glory be to Most High. She's beautiful. I let her make her decision and everything she wanted to do. The past 5 years will be letting me, because, you know, the first 10 years she was with me. So I was basically telling her what she can and cannot do. But the past 5 years, she's been over here and I let her decide that. She's been smoking weed. At 16 years old, I never smoked weed at 16 years old. I didn't start smoking weed until I was in my 20s, 21. 22. That's when I started smoking weed. So I pulled her to the side just the other day. I didn't even know she was coming down the way that I was parked, but she happened to come down. Glory be the Most High. And I said, girl, I didn't even know I was going to run into you here, but I spit to her and I was like, you know, like repping to her. I was giving her some game real quick because my daughter, I give her game. Now, if she used the game for good or bad, that is up to her. But I give her the game as well as my younger cousin. I gave her the game as well. And sometimes when people sit there and try to deem you to be bad or the black sheep or talk against you, even with your children, it backfires on them tremendously. So I was rapping to her. I said, girl, I gave you a choice to make your own decisions. And I'm seeing, because remember, y'all, I told y'all, I never got a chance to make my own decisions. I literally had to do what Massa told me to do. And I'm talking about my mother and my father. And I was being bullied by my father a lot growing up. And then my mom, when I got into high school, she probably tried to bully me a little bit, but not as much as she do now. So I told her, basically, I gave you a choice. And then I'm gonna get the fuck on right after this, y'all. I promise. I gave you choice. I gave you a choice to see. Basically testing them to see what they will do. Every last one of them. Not just my daughter, but also anybody that was involved in my awakening. I seen what they were going to do. I gave them a choice basically to do what they wanted to do. It say right here, I gave you a choice, basically. What you did with that choice is you decided to smoke weed. What you did with that choice is you decided to be into boys and doing all this other like sneaky stuff that you're doing for the past 5 years, daughter. I have been making videos. I have been doing music. Even before y'all went with them, I was doing hair. You at least seen that I had some type of craft. You at least seen that I was writing, even though I wasn't putting my music out. And you chose to do all the bad things. This is kind of her energy right here. Being reckless. And I also felt a rejection from my daughter. Like, because some parents go through this, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get the phone. I know I said it already. Parents go through, oh, my child has rejected me. And I did feel that energy. But I had to snap back into some shit. Glory be to the Most High. I had to snap back into myself like, hold the fuck up. I'm the worker of the Most High, and I know that I did everything in the best of my ability for what I had. And I gave you a choice because my parents didn't give me a choice. See, some people don't even know the reason why somebody do something. She thought as if I was neglecting her or leaving her, confirmation, or leaving her for death, or leaving her, just leaving her for destruction. No, I let you decide. And then when you let them decide, they still have some type of animosity or hate or, oh, fuck what you got to say. I won't listen to you and I won't respect you. Because remember I said 5 years, basically, I've been in and out. I haven't been physically staying with her. So she took that as something else. Now, if I would have been gone 5 years and, just off of just like if I would have been gone 5 years and haven't said anything to her or them for 5 years, it probably would have been a lot more respect. I'm just saying, it probably would have been a lot more respect. They more like, oh my God, mommy. Oh my God, Tierra, where have you been? And shit like that. That don't mean that they wouldn't still be doing like reckless shit. That means that you got to dip your boundaries in, nip your boundaries in the bud for these people. Because I'm just a tester of life. I always been that way. I test people on purpose. And I'm sure a lot of people on here test people too. I'm not the only one that be testing motherfuckers. But the test in this past 5 years, which has changed, and I'm a life path 5. It has showed me that people have literally not did any responsible things. They did it for materialism and for money and other purposes. I had a problem with rejection. I used to put up with a lot of things, not only from my family, but from men that I would deal with. But this last dude that I dealt with, I kind of like had an epiphany or something came over me. He was sitting next to me and I was like, you ain't never shared a post. You ain't never supported me or congratulated me on the time that because I've been dealing with him for about 5 years. Only thing he's done was put me up against other women who were not on my caliber. I ain't saying I'm the best beach in the world, but I am the best beach in the world. And men and women will try to do this to you to make you feel less than, and you are just a better beach because you actually do the work of the Most High. So I'm going to end it at that. And I may be back a little later, y'all, after I do this other thing. But this is just for the message, just to ask questions and everything. And it says here, affirmation, speak positive, always praying for the best. Encourage yourself. I am electric. Didn't I just say that? I literally said the Uranus. I am electric. I am fearless. You have to be fearless with these demons. My Chiron, I'm going to say it again, is in Gemini. I am overcoming, and it feels less and less every day. I can sit up here and talk now, and I don't give a fuck if nobody's in the building. I can literally talk. Glory be to Most High. I got to give the Most High that credit, but also myself that credit, because I kept pushing along. I kept reading out loud. Hell, a reader, if they say a tarot reader, she still has to read. She still has to educate herself. That's where even prophetic messages come from, because she has to read, she has to educate herself, or he has to read, he has to educate himself. You have to be what you say that you are. You can't tell people to do something and you ain't doing it. You can't tell a child not to smoke weed and you're smoking in their face. You cannot tell people to do something and you're not doing it. You're not an example. I'm an example. I had health issues. I fix myself before I can fix you, or I give you the antidote to fix yourself, because I ain't fixing nobody. Okay? This has been beautiful, y'all. I'm going to get one more for this electric. I am worthy. I am letting go of control. And we have here release. And there go the moon. A lot of stuff, Pisces, y'all. This moon is releasing a lot of fear and a lot of things that have to be brung up in your household and in your family. No more will you run from the needed to have discussion. If you know that your mother ain't right, or you know this ain't right, and you got receipts, you better show those motherfucking receipts and tell them, hey, you have not been being a worker of the Most High. And you've been trying to stop me from being the worker of the Most High, especially when it comes to these children. You don't know half the shit these children are doing behind your back because you are letting them roam free. You see, I gave my daughter the decision to make her own. I gave her the choice to make her own decision. And she decided to go somewhere that was not growing. And I'm laughing because I can. There we go. And remember I told y'all I seen the Queen of Swords in the dream? So basically you're releasing something. Honesty is going to be coming out of your mouth. The Queen of Swords is always running off at the chitter chatters. And I am that bitch. I tell y'all this all the time. I'm the one running off at the chitter chatters, and I'm speaking it in positivity. I am not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. But if your feelings get hurt because I'm telling the truth, then you need to do some self-healing because I'm telling the truth. Fuck your feelings. Only the truth matters. I say this shit all the time. Look at her. She telling this motherfucker, fuck your feelings. Only the truth matters. She literally has released the fear of being so antic about not talking about the serious shit. A lot of y'all got children in your household that are sending nudes. 14 years old, 13 years old, 12 years old, to grown-ass men trying to get money out of them. And them trying to impress because of rejection and they don't feel loved. And they taking it personal because mommy is not loving them. Daddy is not loving them. Auntie, uncle is not loving them. Grandma, grandpa is not loving them and gave them no substance. But when they get older, you want to talk about them like a motherfucker and say what they is and what they ain't doing, but you didn't give them shit. So shut your motherfucking mouth. Because I'm going to call you out on it each and every motherfucking time. If you did not teach the children, if you did not show the children, then you need to shut the fuck up. The millenniums know your old ass. And I'm going to leave it at that, y'all. Okay. It might seem like I was a little angry, but I ain't angry. But I am telling the truth. I am telling the truth. And a lot of motherfuckers don't like to hear the truth. They'll leave out in a minute because guess what? Guess what? You better strengthen your emotions, bitch, because guess what? Your feelings was hurt. Fuck your feelings. Because a bitch like me about to tell the truth to the day I die. You're going to see it in my music. You're going to see it in my videos. You're going to see it when I get on here. You're going to see it when I do hair. You're going to see everything about me is healing. Everything about me is healing. And you're going to see that. In the name of the Most High. I hope y'all have a prosperous day. I'm going to get on here later to do, if it's in the wheel, I don't want to promise y'all something. If it's in the wheel, I'm going to get on here later and give y'all the freebies so y'all can ask y'all a question. I'm going to be on here for about an hour, and I mean that hour shit, for real. So, I mean, unless I don't mean it. Grandpa! But anyway, I hope y'all have a prosperous day. And, dos. Kiss, kiss. Know thyself, heal thyself, love thyself, and don't let no old funky ass motherfucker or uneducated motherfucker always telling you how to do you or how to achieve or you ain't doing something right because they ain't doing shit. They want to lower your self-esteem. They want you to have self-hate like they have self-hate on themselves. You got to remember how beautiful you are without nobody telling you. And that's the journey that I have been on since 2017. Not worrying about what motherfuckers is saying about me. How do I feel about myself? No more will I get approval from a motherfucker who treated me like shit. Fuck other bitches behind my back, especially not no upgrade bitches like that. Picking people over me. If it's parents, mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, choosing the wrong side over the right. I'm not asking for no approval from no crooked motherfuckers again. Corrupt motherfuckers again. You can eat a dick. It's gonna be some education on that dick. Yeah! Dos. Kiss, kiss. Talk to y'all soon. It's gonna be some education.